From the ashes of humble beginnings, rise the sense of regeneration, signaling the dawn of a new age. The foundations of the old and antiquated, now demolished, and in its place the newly built pillars of fearlessness and opportunity. Dreams are clearer, expectations are set higher, and the quest for championship gold is even stronger than it's ever been before. At one time or another, everything goes through a period of evolution. The world of wrestling is no different. Welcome to a new age. Welcome to a new era. Welcome to a new FWE.
Gentlemen, get ready for an event that is out of this world, as tonight, Fantasy Wrestling Entertainment brings you the PLE known as Bash at Tatooine. I'm Seth Cole alongside of Jack Mitchell as we get ready to gear up for Combat Evolved with some special matchups here tonight, including the Men's Disney Tag Team Championships on the line. The family, can they keep their reign going? The Black Pearl crew have had no momentum coming in.
Carlos Zimmerman earned his shot at the DC Intercontinental Championship. He's the #1 contender. He'll take on Dylan Poteet.
Matt McIntyre's incredible reign continues, but Flynn Rider looks to put it to an end tonight.
A triple threat match. The Unholy Union have weaseled their way in a match between themselves, the Disney Queens, and Team Let It Go for the Women's Tag Team Championship.
Broadcast colleague Jack Mitchell, long-awaited rematch clause against Carson Gum, the Wayfinder Cruiser Championship.
Susan Storm, Black Widow, they've gone back and forth quite some time these last few weeks. They still have the differences for the Women's Cruiserweight title in a ladder match.
And our main event tonight, RJ Bishop versus the Shadow Lord. We run it back again for the FWE Tri-Wizard Championship, but both individuals' identities are also on the line as we get ready now for our first match of the night, the United States Championship. Well, it was just a couple of weeks ago, about a week and a half ago, we saw Flynn Rider win #1 contendership in an 8-pack elimination style matchup. Looks like he's going to be flanked here by his tag team partner Aladdin. Flynn Rider, of course, was runner-up in the Guardians of the Ring tournament as well. Got him short of fighting for the Tri-Wizard Championship at Combat Evolved this July, but an opportunity here tonight for his first piece of gold in Fantasy Wrestling Entertainment, and also to end what has been one of the most impressive streaks in this industry.
290 days for Matt McIntyre as the United States Champion. And I think it's honestly smart that Flynn Rider is coming out with Aladdin by his side, because Matt McIntyre, obviously, he's a member of the family, and we know they like to have tricks up their sleeves every now and then. And there you go.
There you go, to your point. You knew Matt wasn't probably going to come out alone. Tonight could be a big night here for the family. Currently, the faction holds the United States Championship with Matt McIntyre. the tag team championships with Ed and Eddie. They'll be defending those belts at some point tonight. Michael Norman doing everything in his power, it appears, here tonight to make sure that that gold stays in his faction.
He's getting close to that 300-day mark as the United States champion. That would be unprecedented, I think, at this rate. The amount of titles that you look at in FWE that have changed hands as often as they have. I mean, what he's doing right now, again, 290 days, it's impressive. But if he wins tonight, I mean, he's got a pretty realistic shot. He only has to hold on to the belt for another Thursday and another Saturday.
I think it was, what, 160 some odd days that we were touting when Elizabeth Swann held the Women's Universal Championship. We're talking nearly double that here with Matt McIntyre. Yeah, to your point, we're looking at the possibility, if Matt's able to win here tonight, we're looking at the possibility of him holding that belt for over a year. That's unheard of in this industry, as we'll send it down to Mike Rome.
Introducing the challenger from Camelot, weighing in at 229 pounds, Flynn! And his opponent from Evansville, Indiana, weighing in at 192 pounds, the United States champion, Matt McIntyre!
Could Matt McIntyre be looking at that United States Championship for the last time here tonight? He has fought against numerous individuals here. He has always seemed to find a way to still leave with the belt over his shoulder. But with what we've seen, the momentum as of late, and maybe the new evolution of Flynn Rider, this could potentially be the toughest task to date that Matt McIntyre has faced with that belt hanging in the balance.
Yeah, you certainly can't forget that Flynn Rider, he's been on a roll as of late as well. He was recently a finalist in our Guardians of the Ring tournament. He ultimately came up short and lost to Shaggy, but this would arguably be just as big of a win here for Flynn Rider if he's able to come out on top, as that springboard attack from Matt did not connect.
You've had some limited experience with Flynn Rider. You yourself were involved in that 8-pack elimination matchup. Might have been able to square off with him on a couple of occasions there. If you're Matt McIntyre, is covered here right out of the early going by the challenger, and McIntyre will kick out. If you're Matt McIntyre, what kind of a game plan would you have to have coming into this matchup against Flynn Rider?
I think just be relentless. I've been in the ring with Matt as well. I've had a one-on-one match with him before, and you know, he's one of the tougher competitors in the industry. There's a reason why Michael Norman wanted him to be in the family. I feel like Matt is kind of the guy that, for the most part, hasn't really tried to take the dirty way out either. You know, you see a lot of family members oftentimes tend to do some shady things, do some things that are more normally frowned upon. I don't think Matt is really all about that. I think he's really wrestled clean for the most part.
Yeah, the closest thing I can think of is that countout victory he had over Baymax, but even at that point, it wasn't really something outside of the rules. It was champion's advantage. Obviously, it annoyed a lot of people, and we ended up seeing a title rematch as a result. But yeah, to your point, it kind of seems like he's been one of the few that's been willing to color within the lines here.
Flynn just had a cover. Matt kicked out at once. There's still plenty of life as Matt went for a running knee. Flynn meets him at the Hurricane Rana.
Mentioned about the fact that Flynn Rider, runner-up in that Guardians of the Ring tournament. That, of course, had ramifications where the eventual winner of the tournament, Shaggy Rogers, he's going to get a shot at the Tri-Wizard Champion when we get to the PLE, known as Combat Evolved, in about a month's time, as a flying forearm by Matt McIntyre. But with the matchup we've got here tonight, we don't know exactly who the champion is going to be going into that title defense, with RJ Bishop taking on the Shadow Lord. And for those that have been wondering, those that have been following these last couple of weeks, we still have no word on the whereabouts of Nick Gunther, who promised RJ Bishop he was going to be in his corner here tonight in that main event.
Just adds so much intrigue to that match. Again, obviously, as we know, we're going to know the identity of the Shadow Lord if the Shadow Lord is unable to defeat RJ. But if RJ wins, we're not going to see the Burger Man again.
So much at stake, so much on the line in that matchup, as Matt McIntyre in control now here of this matchup. Double knees to the back of Flynn Rider. And Now takes to the sky with a moonsault. Matt McIntyre, kind of what we call a five-tool player. He can ground and pound. He's got the deceptive power game, but as you saw right there, he can high fly as well, which is really a specialty of Flynn Riders.
Really is, and Flynn with another high fly move. Pinning combination.
Cover is in, and reversal here by Matt McIntyre. Shoulders down by the challenger. Another reversal here. A little back and forth exchange.
Oh, both of them going for some kind of kicking attack in midair, but neither one connects, and now we're going to be trading blows in the middle of the ring.
That's what I mentioned about that ground and pound. We get this far into a matchup usually, Jack, you end up saying that it could be whoever hits that one decisive blow. That could be the momentum for the entire rest of the match.
It very well could, especially in an exchange like this. These two have brought it to start the night here.
Straight right hand by Matt McIntyre, answered back by Flynn, a chop right across the chest. Matt McIntyre ushering for more, and here we go!
The hockey fight is on. Crowd is loving what they're seeing.
Flynn maybe a little the worse for wear in that exchange. Little dazed, and now meets a double axe handle from the top, courtesy the champion. Shoots the half, hooks the leg, cover is in to retain the United States Championship, and a kick out at 1.
And a kick out at 1 this point in the matchup shows that there's still plenty of life left in Flynn. They were just in the middle of that heated exchange, but now on the shoulders of Matt McIntyre.
Might be setting up for white noise. Drops him right on the back of the head.
Uh-oh.
And now, Flynn in the drop zone. RKO.
That took just as much out of Matt as it did Flynn. Covers in, though.
Drapes the arm over the prone body of Flynn Rider. And Matt McIntyre, the reign continues.
United States Champion, Matt
McIntyre. 290 days plus. We are on the precipice of 300 days for Matt McIntyre as that decisive RKO puts another challenger in the rearview mirror.
I genuinely cannot name anybody who's going to stop this reign right now. Matt McIntyre is on an absolute tear.
Probably getting to the point here that Matt McIntyre will lose the belt when he wants to, not when somebody else decides.
I mean, I think the only person at this point that really has that kind of decision right now is the person holding the power briefcase.
Great point. Speaking of, he's in action up next. William Turner, Jack Sparrow, currently sit 0-3 against the family. They fight for the tag team championships. Ed and Eddie put them on the line. You talk about momentum. Black Pearl Crew has none. The family has it all.
These two have been very difficult to start. It feels like the Eds have really leveled up since joining the family. Big opportunity for them here tonight to retain at the PLE. I feel like we just heard this music.
We did. Feel like we've just seen that guy recently too.
Gang is all here.
Eddie on the left, Ed on the right, holding the title belts. You got Double D there in the middle, who came off a decisive victory just about a week ago on an episode of FWE Extra. As mentioned, the family has been firing on all cylinders, and so far, so good tonight. 1 title defense, 1 retention there with Matt McIntyre, and Michael Norman leading the group to the ring here again, looking to ensure that all the gold stays with the family coming in and leaving Fashion Tatooine.
Again, so far 1 for 1, and to make sure that the business gets taken care of here tonight. We've talked about before, Michael likes to often operate in the shadows, but I feel like that's changed as of late with the change in this faction. And I'll give him credit where it's due. He's certainly playing his part here tonight so far.
Could be a debatable question, but obviously back when Anthony McCurry and Cole Eastwood were a part of the family, they held the tag team titles. But would you say that this second version of the family may be more dangerous than the OG group was?
I think that's a fair question. I mean, obviously, I don't want to take away anything from those guys, now known as the Rockers, but obviously the family, you know, I feel like anytime you got a guy like Michael Norman and Matt McIntyre in your corner, it feels like anyone can kind of be unstoppable right now when they're in that group.
You mentioned William Turner in possession of that power-up briefcase. Gonna team up with Jack Sparrow. There was an interesting way that this match came about as well. We'll document that in a moment, but first, we'll send it back down to our ring announcer, Mike Rome.
The following contest is a tag team match set for one fall and is for the Men's Tag Team Championship. Introducing the challengers at a combined weight of 375 pounds, William Turner, and the captain, Jack the Crew. And their opponents at a combined weight of 371 pounds, the Men's Tag Team Champions, Edward and Edward, the family.
When we talk about it with this new trio that Michael Norman has added to his group, Ed, the powerhouse of the team, Eddie, the more unpredictable, more unhinged, but the chemistry has definitely been there, as it looks like we're going to start things out with Ed and William Turner. Little shades of one-on-one matchups we've seen here the last couple of weeks, where in those one-on-one matchups, Ed versus Will Turner, Eddie versus Jack Sparrow, the family has come out on top in both exchanges.
And the family has been on an absolute tear right now. But you mentioned before the match, too, the interesting way this came about. William Turner was being offered the opportunity to be the #1 contender for the United States Championship, but he turned that down in favor of the tag team titles when talking with Woody. So Will Turner, I feel like, is extra determined to make sure that that losing streak comes to an end here tonight.
We saw that United States Championship just defended, Matt McIntyre retaining the title. And one would certainly have to wonder here for William Turner as well, if he and Jack Sparrow do not win the tag team titles here tonight, will he find a period of second-guessing himself on that decision when he could have very well, by the end of the night, been the new United States champion, taking up that offer from Commissioner Woody?
I mean, he could, or he could just cash in his briefcase after the match and go for a rematch immediately.
That's a great point. Well, you got to think for sure, you know, depending on how this matchup happens, you know, whatever the result is, he's going to have his eyes on tonight's main event, that Tri-Wizard Championship battle with RJ Bishop and the Shadow Lord. I mean, we talk about the fact of what's on the line in terms of the titles hanging in the balance. Obviously, the identity of both is on the line, but let's just cut right to the heart of it. These guys don't like each other. There is a level of animosity unmatched between those two. We ended up seeing them in an incredible for us. Whoa, yep, cover here by Jack Sparrow, and a kick out at 2, but we saw what was incredible for us, but you could have cut the tension with a knife ambulance match between RJ Bishop and the Shadow Lord, and it just, I think that animosity and that tension has carried over into tonight.
It absolutely has. Another cover here by Jack Sparrow, trying to win the belts, but a kick out at 1.
Control has Eddie down, another springboard moonsault by the captain. Would have loved to have been a fly on the wall of the Black Pearl crew here this week, try and figure out what their strategy was going to be to shake things up, try and get their momentum turned back in the right direction.
So far, I don't think it's really necessarily been worked out. This is the second time that someone in the Black Pearl crew has been stuck in the wrong part of town, and now another combined move here.
Handle right to the lower back there of Jack Sparrow, and here's what I was talking about, the power of Ed firmly on display, bench pressing Jack Sparrow way above the ring, and a horrible landing to the canvas below.
Oh, Sparrow caught that attack there. I'm trying to reverse the momentum.
suplex keeps the hold held and might be going for the three amigos. And connects. Cover is in.
He's put them to the rope.
I was just gonna say, now granted, we had, with our camera shot here, we had a good look of that left foot being underneath the rope. I don't think referee Ernest Wright saw that, and that would have been controversial had the Black Pro Crew won the tag team titles. One would certainly have to think. Ed kind of made sure that didn't happen with the kick out, but that would have been an interesting end of the match for sure.
Certainly would have. We would have been talking about that one for a while. I don't think the family necessarily would have been too happy with that either, but thankfully it didn't come to that.
William Turner now legal in the ring.
What is he setting up for here? Oh my.
Basement drop kick right to the side of the head. That'll cause whiplash for sure. Follows it up with a standing moonsault, and now makes the tag into Jack Sparrow. One thing I am kind of noticing here, a lot more frequent tags between the two members of the Black Pro Crew. Is a coffin drop there by Jack Sparrow, and Eddie gonna break that up.
I was gonna say, yeah, the frequent tags have been certainly a factor as that diving attack didn't connect. Oh my.
Big slam there by Ed. And just like that, turns the momentum of this match into his favor. Fireman's carry again hoists Jack Sparrow up and lets him drop.
Tossing Jack Sparrow around right now. This is the full powerhouse strength on display here. Again, Sparrow gonna be stuck in the wrong part of town.
Ed and Eddie coming into tonight have held the Men's Disney Tag Team Championships for over a month, 36 days to be exact, coming into this PLE. Big kick there to the underside of the left arm, and there's the jawbreaker. We have seen that used so many times here in the last month to success. Is it enough to retain? And William Turner breaks it up at 2.
I mean, that was smart by Will Turner. Oh, look out there. And he went for a cheap shot on Will Turner and knocked down the referee.
Referee in the wrong part of town there. I think there was tunnel vision by Eddie, and again, referee Ernest Wright gets run into.
Eddie, I think, was going for another jawbreaker perhaps, and instead Sparrow going to be raining into shots to the gut, now one to the head. Oh my.
Now we've seen so many times here, Double D got up in the apron for a moment, we've seen them double down on those jawbreakers as from the top rope, coffin drop by Jack Sparrow. Is this enough to win the tag team titles? And Ed's gonna jump in and break that up before it even reaches a count of 2.
Talking about the doubling down on the jawbreakers, the fact that they weren't able to do that is probably the reason why this matchup is still going. Again, I think Eddie, like you said, just got tunnel vision there. He was trying to land a cheap shot on the Will Turner after Will Turner broke up that first pin and accidentally took out the referee instead.
Oh, wow. Core strength there by Eddie. That gut wrench slam on Jack Sparrow, and kind of get the feeling that Jack needs to make a tag.
He does.
And he will. Woo! Nice Hurricanrana takedown there by Will Turner. Almost flinged Eddie halfway across the ring, and nothing fancy about straight right hands, knuckles to the forehead.
Now I would say the situation is kind of reversed. Now you think maybe Eddie needs to make a tag quick.
Rises to his feet. Corkscrew arm drag by William Turner.
Turner is definitely a lot more fresh right now than Jack Sparrow was. Now he'll be put in the corner.
William Turner and Jack Sparrow have never won any kind of belt here in FWE, singles or otherwise. If they can win the tag team titles tonight, it'll be the first time. As Eddie goes in for a cover here after the knee into the turnbuckle and kick out even before 1. Oh my!
I don't even know what you call that, but now the cover's in.
Pop-up uppercut, that's what that was. Oh! And Eddie with the wherewithal somehow to grab onto the bottom rope.
That might have been a slight mistake there by Will Turner. Didn't realize how close to the ropes they were. Gonna be distracted. Eddie's gonna go for the tag. Ed is fresh. He's had time to relax.
Oh, and look at that!
Oh.
Michael Norman up on the apron with the distraction, and Ed took advantage with the clothesline from behind.
I don't think we should be surprised by that.
And
Jawbreaker.
the jawbreaker connects by Ed. Cover is in to retain the tag team titles, and the kick out at 2. But the question is, do we see Ed double down? Oh no! Whoa!
Maybe not.
Clothesline to the outside.
Look out here.
Elbow
to the
connects
outside.
with the top rope, and again, no, we haven't had the scenario yet, but we have to mention the titles do not change hands on the countout.
Both able to get back inside the ring, so no count-out scenario here. And it looks like, again, the crew was... Oh, I was just going to say...
There it is!
To avoid the double jawbreaker, but there it is again.
Connects
might
with
be
the
it.
jawbreaker, and Jack Sparrow gonna break it up there before the referee's hand even comes down for a 1 count. They've been on the receiving end of those jawbreakers quite a bit, so they know that that's more than likely curtains.
Submission is locked in here. Ed trying to wear Will Turner down right in front of the other family members, too.
Knee in that lower back as well as wrenching on the neck. Now looking maybe for another gut wrench slam.
Oh, and I think he was thinking about another jawbreaker, but Will Turner, smart, rolls out of the ring, takes that out of the equation.
And also
they keep
trying
delaying it.
Also trying to take Eddie out of the equation here as well. Take away that proverbial X factor on the other side. But a running power slam out on the floor.
We're up to a 4 count, and I honestly, I wouldn't put it past the family to be satisfied with a count-out victory here.
No, I wouldn't either.
Look at this, he's just prolonging the interaction right now.
Shot to the lower back of Will Turner. Referees at a count of 7. Referees at a count of 8. Ed's going to get back in the ring. Williams got to get back in the ring here before the referee counts 10. And he's not going to.
He was so close. He has another count-out victory for the family.
And one would have to wonder if maybe a sense of desperation was starting to sink in for the tag team champions willing to take the count-out victory to retain the titles.
But that's just how it all shook out in the end. The family by hook or by crook, and now we turn our attention to a triple threat tornado tag team match. We stay in the tag team picture, but this time on the women's side.
Belle and Rapunzel hold the gold. Team Let It Go get their title rematch, but somehow able to wiggle their way into this matchup. The faction, the duo we know as the Unholy Union, Ursula and Maleficent, who have run roughshod over the women's tag team division ever since their alliance.
I think I only have one word to describe this matchup coming forward here. It's going to be chaos.
Absolutely, and that might be just what this duo would enjoy.
Thinking you could defeat me, the mistress of all evil. Now you all bow to me.
The following contest is a triple threat tag team match and is for the women's tag team championship. Introducing the challengers, Team Wait and Melissa
When we first saw these two come together, they took on the Disney Queens in a #1 contendership match for the women's Disney tag team titles. They lost, and it seemed like that loss made this duo even more dangerous. They would then take down the Black Pearl Group, Toxic Attraction, as well as Mystery Incorporated. And we saw about a week ago them attack Team Let It Go. That allowed them to be involved in this tag team title match here tonight. And consider the fact, not only do they have an opportunity to leave here tonight with the belts, but to get some sweet revenge over the only tag team that so far holds a pinfall victory over them, the current tag team champions.
I mean, we've talked at length about the ridiculous run that they've been on right now, so I have a feeling like they were going to end up in this matchup one way or another, but that added motivation is just going to make them even more dangerous than they already are.
Well, before Team Let It Go won the tag team title belts from Team Let It Go, they were the only duo that had held the Women's Disney Tag Team Championships twice. Their most previous reign held the titles for 69 days. And now, an opportunity here tonight to maybe be the first ever 3-time champions here in the Women's Tag Team Division. But one would certainly have to wonder, when we saw them get attacked by the Unholy Union, that was a non-title matchup. Here tonight, this is technically their title rematch, but the odds are not in any way in their challenger's favor.
I'm not really sure if there are odds in anybody's favor. This is a triple threat tornado tag team match, which means all 6 participants are going to be active at the same time, no tags or anything like that.
The Women's Tag Team Champions, the Princess and the Queen.
And you talk about low odds, let's consider this possibility. We've seen most recently Jasmine lose the Hardcore Championship to Kita. Mulan, we saw her lose the Female Fighting Championship to Ellie Williams. At one point, there were 4 belts in the faction. There are now only these 2, the tag team belts. If Rapunzel and Belle cannot leave tonight retaining the titles, the Disney Queens would leave Bash at Tatooine going from 4 belts to none.
I don't necessarily know if they want to think about that possibility, but it's certainly very much on the table here tonight, especially in the match stipulation. It's going to take a lot from these 2 to try to retain in this fashion, so all the pressure is on.
Winning the belts from Team Let It Go, the Disney Queens now the second team to hold these belts more than once, currently 19 days into their reign. And as you mentioned, it will be absolute chaos here as the bell will ring. All 6 participants will be in the match at the same time. First pinfall, first submission will win the match, and the champions don't even have to factor into the equation.
No countouts, no disqualifications either. Both members of the Disney Queens immediately down. You see Anna wrenching on the arm a little bit. I think the arm bar's locked in. We got a cover there.
That was Ursula with a roll-up on Elsa. Wow.
Oh my. Straight from the bell, but then she immediately gets dropped with 1 punch to the back by Ursula. Oh man.
Follow-away slam there by Ursula. Scary power on display by the Unholy Union, who for a brief moment there were the only 2 individuals at a vertical stance inside of the ring. They're just going to work on everybody else.
Everybody's down except for the Unholy Union.
I mean, obviously, I don't think there's any love lost between Team Let It Go and the Disney Queens, but I think it might be in your best interest right now if you ganged up on Ursula and Maleficent.
Absolutely. They're both out of the ring right now, so this is a chance. Oh, look out, though. We got a steel chair. Oh, they're able to grab it away.
Might have actually caught Maleficent in the face with that steel chair.
Only 2 in the ring right now, too. Nice move there. And now here comes Ursula to her tag team partner's rescue. She doesn't connect with that attack. Oh, there's a punch from behind, though.
All of a sudden, it's a 2-on-1 situation here for Anna. As soon as I say that, Ursula exits the ring with that steel chair in hand. Now we do have to remember that the pinfall submission has to take place inside of the ring. So all this action we see on the outside here with Belle, Rapunzel, Elsa, and Ursula really doesn't matter at the moment in terms of the titles changing hands or being retained. Referee Ernest Wright, all he has to worry about is what's taking place inside of the ring, which right now he can just kind of kick back because all 6 participants now on the outside.
Everybody just loved that. Would have been a golden opportunity for Maleficent to try to go for a pin instead. Anna, look out here.
Oh, gosh.
I mean, we've seen that attack numerous times before, and it doesn't get any less painful.
I wince every time.
I mean, it's the side of your head. Cover here in the ring.
Belle with a cover on Elsa. And almost was able to sneak one out to retain the tag team titles.
Oh, man, look at the power. Say that apron move, that's the side of your head being driven right into the ring apron, the only part of the ring where there's no give whatsoever. Anna's got a kendo stick.
Oh, gracious!
My.
Just launched it like a javelin straight into the face of Ursula.
Ursula was getting attacked with a kendo stick too, ringside like a minute ago in this matchup, so. Felt that pain before, but she's persevering as she drives Elsa into the ring mat.
Big power bomb by Ursula. Oh, look at this. Go behind. Full Nelson suplex by Anna on Rapunzel. Meanwhile, her sister in trouble here. Ursula's got her up. A little surprised that Anna didn't interfere to try and help her sister out, but an uppercut to the back of the head nonetheless of Ursula. Oh, with a cover.
Cover here.
Maleficent with a cover there on Belle. And
Another cover.
You saw Elsa there break that pinfall up. She didn't do that to save Belle. If Belle had taken that pinfall, then the Unholy Union would be the new tag team champions. That was entirely out of self-preservation for Elsa and Anna's chances.
There was some kind of a submission or cover that Elsa had on Rapunzel. Now she's going to go for one here on Ursula, but that'll get broken up before one.
You know, this is kind of reminiscent of the type of strategy we talk about in triple threat matches, but it's double the field here. It is so difficult to thin out the herd to have enough time to be able to get a pinfall or submission because so many people around, there's so many opportunities. As well, friendly fire right there.
I was going to say, Alexa, she hit Elsa pretty hard with that steel chair, knocked her ringside. Elsa came back with a kendo stick, but then the friendly fire might have disrupted the momentum. Covers in though.
Cover here.
Using the ropes.
It's legal. It's legal in this type of a matchup.
It was broken up though.
Now looks like maybe a double team here by Elsa and Belle, recognizing the situation. Side Russian leg sweep on Maleficent.
And didn't get Maleficent out of the ring. She's going to be holding on barely to that top rope there. Need to knock her to the floor ringside before they can think about going for a cover, but now Ursula's in the ring.
With a drop kick, Maleficent now out to the floor. Ursula back in the ring here and holding Anna as Belle lays in the chops. I would not have expected anybody to try and team up with the Unholy Union.
I guess any means necessary. I mean, we know that these alliances, they're going to be temporary.
Oh! Big high knee there. Almost a Psycho knee by Belle. Maleficent's got her, got her locked into the Dark Majesty submission. If Belle taps, the championships will change hands. Rapunzel's got to notice this.
Rapunzel's getting held. I think the submission was released. Oh, man. Rapunzel just driven into the ring mat.
And now Anna in danger. Dragon's wings connects. Might have hit that chair.
I think it did.
Cover is in and Rapunzel able to break it up and then takes down Ursula with a spear.
Yeah, big spear. And now it's a 2-on-1 right now. Maleficent.
All of a sudden the Disney Queens are standing tall.
Belle having that steel chair obviously helps their cause quite a bit, but Ursula again recovers, gets back into the ring. They don't slow down. That might have been in the chair.
Elsa just hit a DDT on Rapunzel. She's got to cover in. And Rapunzel's going to kick out at 1.
Honestly, a little bit impressive, the fact that she was able to kick out at 1 this late in the matchup.
Another full Nelson suplex by Anna. Belle is down and out to the outside of the ring. Rapunzel's in a bad way. Powerbomb. Elsa took down Maleficent. Massive headbutt by Ursula. And Ursula now with the cover on Elsa. Anna was trying to get over there to help. Now she's going to get met with a Uranagi. Did you see the height of that?
That was insane. And now it feels like the Unholy Union are in full control of this one. Go behind though by Belle. Cover in. Cover
here by Rapunzel. And Elsa's going to break that up before a referee even gets to a 1 count. That's the thing too. Not only do you have to make sure there's nobody around to break up the pinfall, you got to make sure there's a clear enough path for Ernest Wright to get there to be able to count. You could have, 1, 2, 3 precious seconds go away as he tries to get into position.
Make absolutely certain that the shoulders are down.
Cover here by Anna. And Maleficent will break it up.
Uppercut there by Elsa sends Belle out of the ring. Pull down.
Oh.
Everybody else, even let it go, they're not feeling great right now either.
What in
Ursula's
the
got the
world?
steel steps. What is she planning on doing with those?
Oh! Bounced it right off the skull of Elsa. Oh,
She's
roll
bringing him in the
roll
ring.
Anna with a roll-up here, Maleficent. And Ursula and Belle both there to break it up. Uh-oh, the Hello Bell.
Oh.
But
Belle
not able to
connects.
take advantage. Oh, gonna hit
Another
it again.
one.
This time on Maleficent. Oh, face first onto the steel chair. Cover is in, and Ursula breaks it up. Now Ursula goes for a cover here on Anna.
What is Belle doing? Okay, she was distracted for a moment there. Gonna get Ursula stuck in the corner. Going for the steel chair.
One representative of each tag team right now in the ring. Belle, Anna, and Ursula. Oh! Reverse suplex. Float over DDT on Ursula. Anna with a chance.
Here comes Maleficent though, the defensive tag team partner.
Oh! Might have intercepted that.
I don't think it did.
No, I guess not. I thought she kicked the side of the head there of Anna.
Anna was able to fight through it, but she wasn't able to go into the cover there. So it was good by Maleficent nonetheless because it saved her partner from the cover.
Oh my.
Oh no.
Oh! Reverse Alabama slam.
Everybody back into the ring, but I don't think it's going to be enough to take down the Unholy Union. Oh, maybe not.
I don't know how well our camera can show this, but I don't know if you can see it. Look at the welts on the back of Elsa.
She's gone through punishment in this match, but that's just what a triple threat tornado tag team match will entail, especially when you look at the weapons
We got
in
a
the ring.
cover.
Cover
We
here.
got a cover. Referee and Strike didn't even see it. Belle with the cover there on Ursula.
Almost wonder if he did see it, but again, like you mentioned earlier, he's got to work through the mass of humanity just to make sure that he can see that the shoulders are down.
Now the Unholy Union, both members on the outside of the ring. Team Let It Go, standing tall, looking to be three-time tag team champions. Here's the cover by Anna. Elsa cuts off Maleficent, and a kick out at two.
He shattered the kendo stick over Maleficent, but it wasn't enough.
There you can see. Look at the
it.
welts on the midsection, the back of Elsa. This has been an all-out war, and now on the receiving end of a suspended vertical suplex, covered here by Ursula, and both Anna and Rapunzel going to break that up.
Everybody rushing in to break that pin up. Rapunzel's in trouble here.
But we got a cover back there. I think
He was
Belle had a
breakout or
roll-up on
breakout.
Anna, and Ursula might have broken it up. It was tough to see there.
Quite make out what was going on, but did not get the 3 count. We stayed going, and now Belle was able to reverse her attack by Maleficent in the corner.
Anna face first into the turnbuckle. Rapunzel guillotined on the top rope. We've seen a couple of times some windows of opportunity for all 3 of these tag teams to either win or retain the titles, but have come up just short as Maleficent with an Alabama slam to Elsa, and Anna gonna break it up.
That was right under the back. I don't think Elsa was kicking out of that if there was nobody else there to break that one up.
And
Ursula again
Ursula,
gonna go for steel steps.
A second set of steel steps here coming right out here in front of us. Oh!
Oh!
That knee by Elsa, and I think as the steel steps are being put inside the ring, I think the back of Rapunzel's head bounced off of them.
I don't know how she's on her feet.
How does she have the wherewithal? Hits the snuggly duckling. But for some reason didn't go for the cover.
I think she was distracted by Elsa, who was standing on the middle rope calling for one of them to get to their feet. Disney Queen's moment of opportunity right now.
Cover, maybe a double cover.
2 covers.
Rapunzel with a cover on Elsa. Belle with a cover on Ursula. Kicked out by both.
Not quite at the same time, but referee was only counting one pin at the same time, or one pin at a time there, so everybody able to stay alive. This matchup is still going.
And it's a 2-on-1 inside the ring here. Belle and Rapunzel, the Disney Queens, have Maleficent all to themselves. All the rest of the action on the outside. As soon as I say that, Anna makes her way back in.
This matchup has been insane. We're definitely in the territory where one big move will win it, and that could be it right here. Cover is in.
There's nobody else there.
Oh my.
I'm not sure if Belle got the shoulder up or if Rapunzel just barely was able to break that up, but we almost had ourselves new tag team champs. Whoa, look out.
Oh boy, Tender Sticks twirling in front of us. I mean, she was able to get the shoulder up. That was a kick out at 2.999.
Whoever ends up winning these tag team title belts tonight at Bash at Tatooine is certainly going to earn it. I believe Elsa may have just hit the frozen heart on Ursula, that spinning back fist.
She had a double axe handle on Ursula again. Elbow drop on the Ursula as well. Ursula seems to be out of commission, but now a kendo stick to the back of Rapunzel.
Right in the shoulder blades. Anna
reversal.
was looking for that DDT. Oh, Dark Majesty, locked in. Submission is locked in. And Anna's tapping out.
Oh my.
Oh my goodness. Well, I remember us saying it may be only a matter of time, but the reign of terror has begun in the women's tag team division.
I think what makes that even more agonizing is that Belle was rushing into the ring and she was right in front of that pin trying to break it up right before the tap out happened. And we have new champions in the tag team division on the women's side.
It's our first title change of the evening, and it's one that may have massive repercussions in the women's division here in the future. But up next, it's the Intercontinental Championship. Carlos Zimmerman, second time to our recent knowledge that he's had himself in the conversation for this belt. Came up short back at Paramount tonight. He takes on the champion, Dylan Poteet.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall and is for the Intercontinental Championship.
Carlos Zimmerman won #1 contendership in a triple threat match with Levi McIntyre and yourself, and some new music here for Carlos Zimmerman.
My memory serves me correctly. I believe this is the fight song for Sam Houston.
Yes, indeed. Carlos out here, of course, in the Sam Houston Bearcats gear. I don't know, maybe a little hype for Carlos Zimmerman coming into this matchup?
Maybe. I mean, anybody who gets hyped up by their entrance music is definitely in a good state of mind going into the matchup. I can speak to that for my own side of things, but yeah, I came up short in that triple threat matchup that Carlos is able to win against myself and Levi McIntyre, but I've got a ton of respect for both Carlos and the man who's about to step into the ring in Dylan Poteet.
Dylan Poteet, 62 days he has reigned as Intercontinental Champion, winning that belt from Hades.
That was no small task.
No,
either,
it was
a man
not.
like Hades multiple times, I'm pretty sure, as well. I mean, that's quite a turnaround because when Poteet made his debut in FWE, he was pinned by Hades. He filled in for RJ Bishop, who was injured by the Shadow Lord at the time. It was a 3-on-3 matchup, and Dylan made his debut, filled in for RJ, took the pin, and then took the title off of Hades.
it's kind of interesting too, because all of that storyline you're talking about, we saw Poti kind of get enveloped into the rivalry between RJ Bishop and the Shadow Lord. We saw Nick Gunther return, basically kind of allow Poti to focus on the title belt. We'll talk a little bit more about this here in a minute. Mike Rome gonna do our introductions here tonight.
Introducing the challenger from Houston, Texas, weighing in at 163 pounds, Carlos Z. And his opponent from Louisville, Kentucky, weighing in at 220 pounds, the Intercontinental Champion, the Assassin Dylan.
I was gonna mention, Dylan Poti kind of had RJ's back during his feud with the Shadow Lord after the ambulance match. When Nick Gunther returned, he then kind of stepped into that play, saying he was going to have RJ's back, specifically in the main event match we've got coming up later on tonight, giving Poti the opportunity to focus more on this Intercontinental Championship. With Nick Gunther being MIA, you got to wonder, would RJ maybe call upon the services of Poti again here tonight, or is he going to go it alone? It's going to be interesting to see what the fallout exactly is.
I'm not totally certain on that one, and to that degree, you almost wonder maybe the Shadow Lord might call in Hades for some backup as well. Look at what's going on here. All that for a roll-up.
Yeah, a little back and forth there, trying to get the upper hand in the early going, maybe sneak a quick pinfall on the other.
That was the most convoluted roll-up that I've ever seen to start a match. They both went back and forth.
Big kick there right to the forehead by Dylan Poti. And, we mentioned about the fact this is the first time that Carlos Zimmerman has been in the conversation to fight for the Intercontinental Championship. If you go back to the biggest show of them all at Paramount, was involved in what we originally thought was going to be a triple threat match between himself, Hades, and the then champion Robbie Gilvin. We ended up seeing the return of RJ Bishop, making it a fatal four-way, and obviously hindsight is 2020, but you gotta wonder, back at that point, had it been a 33 1/3% chance as opposed to a 25% chance, would we be talking about Carlos Zimmerman here tonight as a former or maybe even the current Intercontinental Champion?
I think it's a fair question to ask, but at the same time, one thing you have to remember too is that at the end of that matchup, Robbie Gilvin pinned Hades. They were both original participants in that matchup anyway, so Robbie was clearly undeterred by the appearance of RJ. Hockey fight in the middle of the ring once again.
Do they have hockey here at Tatooine?
Maybe. I know they've got pod racing. I'm not sure about any other sports.
I know that moons are generally cold, so I guess it would make sense.
Tatooine is not a moon. They've got two suns. It's a desert out here.
Poti went to lift up Carlos Zimmerman, and I think his lower back just gave out.
I think so.
Carlos with a cover here on Poti, looking to win the Intercontinental Championship and a kick out at 1. That'll be something we'll have to keep an eye on here. Again!
Can't lift him up. That's gonna really deter his moveset in this matchup.
I don't know if something happened here in the early going of this match that hurt his lower back, but obviously that's going to take away a big portion of Poti's offense, and you got to think that Carlos Zimmerman is going to hone in on that.
I almost wonder if maybe he tweaked it during that roll-up chaos that was at the start of the match.
Maybe. Poti going to have to fight through that apparent injury of some kind. Reverse DDT will take down Carlos, and Poti still going to go to the top rope here. Oh, went for the splash and missed.
That's going to hurt even more, the fact that it didn't connect.
Dylan Poti won the
window. He's going to go into the cover.
There you go. Look at that. Smart took the arm away from being able to hit the rope. I thought Poti was able to slip his arm around and grab the bottom rope. I thought Carlos had it perfectly. And somehow Poti keeps this match going.
See what Dylan tries to do here. He's going to have to stick to this ground offense. That time he was able to lift up Carlos with no hitch there, and it covers in to retain and a kick out at 1.
Had the momentum to be able to hit that backbreaker across the knee, and the champion back in control again. Poti won the Intercontinental Championship, his first title belt here in FWE. Carlos Zimmerman is still hunting for his first. Ripcord clothesline turns Dylan Poteet inside out.
I'm looking for that knee up under the jaw. And another knee, this one to the forehead for good measure.
Poteet looks like he may have a shiner there after the hockey fight. Zimmerman up on the top rope. Oh my!
He's dealing with that. He's dealing with the lower back problem. Now the cover is in.
Cover in here by Carlos. A little bit of time taken there by referee Ernest Wright to get over, make sure the shoulders were down, kick out at 1. And Carlos follows it up with a springboard senton.
Just sandwiches him between himself and the ring mat, and now the forearms to the face, the elbow shots. Has him up.
Oh, reverse GTS! Is that going to be enough? Poteet got busted open with that reverse GTS, and yes, Carlos did it!
Just like that, we have a new Intercontinental Champion.
Here is your winner, and new Intercontinental Champion, Carlos Day.
For the first time in his FWE career, Carlos Zimmerman can call himself a champion as he ends the reign of Dylan Poteet. I know you got to get to the back, my friend, with your matchup coming. Best of luck.
Yeah, I gotta go get this strap back, so let's do it.
Jack Mitchell invoking his rematch clause, a belt that he lost all the way back at Mortal Kombat inside of an Elimination Chamber match. Now takes on the current champion, Carson Gum. It's the Wayfinder Cruiser Championship on the line up next.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall and is for the Men's Cruiserweight Championship.
Jack Mitchell gets ready to make his way to the ring for cruiserweight action here tonight, looking to regain a belt that was the first one he held in FWE. He would then go on to win the Tri-Wizard Championship as well, making him a double champion here in Fantasy Wrestling and Entertainment. And chasing a little bit of history here tonight as well, Carson Gum, the champion coming into this matchup, the only individual that has now held the Wayfinder Cruiser Championship twice. If Jack Mitchell can win tonight, he would join Carson Gum with that statistic. Pretty sure that Jack's made history already. Mentioned about that Elimination Chamber match back at Mortal Kombat. That was last year, September 25th of last year. I think this is historically the longest amount of time that an individual has held a championship rematch before executing it. The trend is certainly in Jack's favor right now, as so far tonight we have had a total of 4 matches. The last 2, the titles have changed hands. Carlos Zimmerman, just now, the new Intercontinental Champion. The Unholy Union, Maleficent and Ursula, now the new Women's Disney Tag Team Champions. And we've had 2 title retentions here tonight, as the gold remains in the family. Ed and Eddie retaining the men's tag team titles. Matt McIntyre retaining the United States Championship. Carson Gum, that Wayfinder Cruiser Championship around his waist. Second time he has held that belt, as he was engulfed in quite the feud with Elmo. Won the title back from Elmo at Saturday night at Springfield in an incredible ladder match. When that matchup concluded, Jack Mitchell grabbed a microphone, stood on this announce table, and declared that he was invoking his title rematch here tonight at Bash at Tatooine. To my knowledge, these two have never gone one-on-one against each other. They have been in the ring together in the last month, as we ended up seeing Jack Mitchell, Carson Gum, Dylan Poteet, Carlos Zimmerman in tag team action against each other. Mitchell tagging with Zimmerman, Poteet tagging with Carson Gum. The challengers came out on the winning side of that tag team matchup.
Introducing the challenger. From Los Angeles, California, weighing in at 200 pounds, the one, Jack Mitchell! And his opponent, from Denton, Texas, weighing in at 235 pounds, the men's cruiserweight champion,
I mentioned about the fact that Carson's now held that belt twice. Jack Mitchell looking to hold that belt twice. They are two of only 4 individuals that have held the Wayfinder Cruiser Championship. Or sorry, correction, 2 of 5. We already mentioned Elmo, Cusco, and Harry Potter, the other 2. Carson's first title. Oh, spear right out of the gate by Mitchell. This could be over right here, and Carson's going to kick out at 1, but Mitchell, who's not getting paid by the hour, I guess, and now a springboard cutter, trying to put Carson Gum away early. Carson ended up winning the Wayfinder Cruiser Championship the first time back at Paramount when he defeated Harry Potter. Right now in his second reign as champion. Coming into the night 39 days as powerbomb here. And a kick out by Mitchell. So both champion and challenger trying to hit their big moves in the early going of this matchup. It's now Carson with the Alabama Slam, reverse Alabama Slam on Jack Mitchell. Carson is not from Alabama. He's close. He's in the state of Texas. Now looking, I thought he was going to just go for a straight-up suplex, but going to suspend Mitchell for a moment here. Allow the blood to rush to his head. Disorients him before bringing him down to the mat. Now Gum going up to the top. Elbow right to the chest of Jack Mitchell. Cover is in to retain the Cruiserweight Championship, and Mitchell with a kick out at 2. I mentioned about the fact that the challengers in that tag team matchup came out victorious. Well, Carlos Zimmerman just won the Intercontinental Championship, so the momentum stayed with him. Can the momentum stay with Jack is the question, as right now the champion is in control. Oh, was going maybe for a corner clothesline. Mitchell had it scouted. Oh, and hits another cutter. Does not go for the cover, however, here. It's now Irish whips Carson Gum into the corner. Mitchell now looking for a move. High knee connects. Carson drops down to that bottom turnbuckle as Mitchell rakes the boots across the face. And another big running boot for good measure. And that may have actually, I think it may have actually grazed the skin off the forehead of Carson Gum. Yeah, he's bleeding. The champion is busted open after that big boot in the corner, and now Mitchell looking to take advantage. Oh, big clothesline. I thought he might be going for the Superman punch, but instead a straight up clothesline and cover with a kick out at 1 by Carson. Setting him up. Oh! Springboard forearm by Mitchell, and now going up to the top rope. Hits the splash. Again, not going for a cover, surprisingly here, as no motion out of Carson Gunn might cost him. Fireman's carry takedown by Carson. And now looking to hyperextend that elbow, that shoulder region. Mitchell immediately back to his feet though. Snap suplex. Floats over into the cover, forearm in the face. And Carson finds enough to kick out at 1. Now just looking to wear down the champion is Jack Mitchell. Got that right arm grapevine, trying to hyperextend the shoulder of the left arm. Double knees to the back. Oh, he's got him hoisted up. Oh, and down. I believe the back of Carson Gunn's head bounced off the knee of Jack Mitchell. I thought he was going for the attitude adjustment, and another kick out at 1 by Carson. Oh, here it is. Mitchell says, you can't see this. Attitude adjustment connects. And Mitchell's not done. Carson to his feet, the bow down. Mitchell looking to be a 2-time Wayfinder Cruiser champion. And he's done it. Jack Mitchell wins the belt back. The words you just heard uttered by our ring announcer, Mike Rome. Mitchell has been waiting 8 months to hear that said. Gold finally back around his waist. A belt that he lost all the way back in September of last year is back in his possession. He is now a multi-time Cruiserweight champion here in FWE, and the celebration begins here tonight at Tatooine. The first belt he ever won here in FWE has come home, as up next, the animosity has reached new heights, both figuratively and literally. A ladder match between Black Widow, the current Cozy Cone Cruiserweight champion, and the former champion, Susan Storm. Avenger teammates go to war here tonight for the Cruiserweight belts. And we have seen attack after attack on both sides. Susan Storm attacking Black Widow with a ladder to the head. Black Widow with an attack rematch. It all comes to a boiling point here tonight.
The Women's Cruiserweight Championship.
My broadcast colleague Jack Mitchell joins me back here at the table. I feel if you smile anymore, it's going to outstretch your face, my guy.
You got enough room for this thing right here?
I think so. Set it right there.
There we go.
Introducing the challenger from Long Island, New York, Sue Storm.
Well, we go from a matchup between the two of you where there seemed to be mutual respect before the bell even rang. I don't think that's the case here in this one.
Absolutely not. I mean, we're talking about a ladder match here in just a few moments. They're going to see the champion, Black Widow, come out without the belt around her waist because it's a ladder match. It's going to be hanging above the ring right there. I mean, the animosity between these two, it has reached, I'm pretty sure you would have said the word boiling point by now. It absolutely has.
Susan Storm was the inaugural Cozy Cone Cruiserweight champion, held the belt for 136 days, but something seemed to snap in Susan Storm when many say she was coerced into defending the title against Black Widow. Black Widow would win the belt, and Susan Storm seemed to feel maybe she was taken advantage of.
The agents from Moscow, Russia, the Women's Cruiserweight Champion, the Spider Black.
And I'm not going to say that Susan Storm is wrong in her observations here, but let's consider this as well, who we're talking about. This is Black Widow. This is Natasha Romanoff, who was a Russian spy, then turned spy for the Avengers. Manipulation is what she does, so if you fall into her mental trap, I think that's more so on you with knowing her background.
It's a fair point to make, but you know, ultimately at the end of the day, I feel like you said it feels a little bit justified, the fact that she was frustrated at the way she lost that title belt, but at the end of the day, she got her receipt, now has an opportunity to get another one here tonight.
Now, the last time that we saw a belt defended in a ladder match, this belt that's sitting right here with us now in your possession was on the line at Saturday Night at Springfield when Elmo defended the title against Carson Gum. Here tonight, ladder match here between these two women, and rules are pretty simple. Anything goes, there's no countouts, no disqualifications. Just gotta climb the ladder, retrieve that briefcase the belt that's suspended up there above the ring.
We're used to it being a briefcase.
That's right. Oh!
Oh gosh!
Massive drop kick to the back of the head of Susan Storm.
Black Widow tried an attack on Susan Storm while she was grabbing that ladder. It didn't connect, but that second one did, and I think part of Susan Storm might have connected with that ladder as well. Black Widow's gonna go for it right away.
Fingertips on that belt. Susan Storm looking to cut her off at the pass. We've seen this rivalry grow in the last month or so. We, of course, saw, as I mentioned, Black Widow attacked by Susan Storm as she delivered the very front of that ladder to the forehead of Black Widow and then delivered her back first onto the aluminum ladder as a follow-up. We also ended up seeing Black Widow, in a sense, ultimately cost Susan Storm a victory against Shigo as she not only attacked her prior to the match, but then we saw the two break out into a brawl after the matchup was over.
Animosity has definitely reached a fever pitch, but now I'm gonna have to keep their eyes on that title belt here. I mean, that's the thing that makes it a little bit tricky. I mean, when it's a ladder match... Oh gosh! When it's a one-on-one match, I was gonna say, you can focus on your opponent. You can have this sort of thing, you can keep them squarely at your center of focus. But when it comes to a ladder match, you have to climb the ladder and then focus on trying to unlatch the championship from that rope that's hanging above the ring right now. So it can be pretty hard because you have to keep an eye out on that, and you have to keep an eye out on your opponent and see when they're going to get back up to their feet and know when you should stop going for it.
Saw that double knees to the back as Susan Storm was laying prone on that ladder. So not only do you have the impact to the back, but then you have the aluminum ladder driving into your midsection. And you bring up a great point as well. A term here in a ladder match that we talk about is window of opportunity. Kind of go back to that triple threat tag team matchup we had where there was really little opportunity to have a window to get a pinfall or submission. Here you need not only enough window of time to be able to climb the ladder, but to also get the belt before the opponent gets to their feet, which Black Widow is trying to do right now, but Susan Storm back to a vertical base.
Yeah, you have to use a move that's going to incapacitate them, maybe outside the ring preferably as well. Look out here. Again, you can't pin or submit somebody. You can put somebody in a submission hold and wear them out, but it's not going to win the match.
Think of it is as well, and we've seen it already in this matchup. If you're up there on the top of the ladder and get brought back down to the canvas, I mean, we're talking, what, about 10-foot ladders right here? Oh, that is a long fall to the canvas below.
And when you get to about the middle of the ladder here, oh my.
That was a lot of ground to cover.
When you get to about the middle of the ladder, it feels like almost like the same height as when you're maybe jumping from the top rope, which is normal for these guys. But when you're jumping from the top of the ladder, that increases the height quite a bit.
Susan Storm has Black Widow up and down. Back of her head bouncing off of Susan Storm's knee. And you see right there, this is one thing that I think both of these women are very equal in. They are pure strikers.
Absolutely. These two are going to take their biggest shots at each other very frequently here.
Oh, hold the phone.
Oh,
Susan
boy.
Storm up top, and she's going to nail the invisible impact.
I'm going to go for the other ladder on the other side of the ring.
Yeah, I'm not sure I agree with this. You had Black Widow down. There was already a ladder in the ring. Maybe wasting a little bit too much time there. And you see, Black Widow had time to recover.
And now Storm is being dropped. Maybe a little bit less force, but still fell on the ladder. For a good spot to place that ladder. I mean, I think needing a bit of extra time to clear that first ladder out of the way maybe bought Black Widow or Susan Storm enough time to get back to her feet.
Superhero punch.
Took a shot off of that ladder, but shook it off.
One thing you would certainly assume of both of these women, a high threshold for pain. Is now off of that knee strike. Susan Storm down. Black Widow a little more gingerly climbing the ladder. Not as spry as she was in the early going of this matchup. The effects, the impact of these moves starting to take its toll.
She got a grip on the belt, but Susan Storm just got back up to her feet, and Black Widow will meet the ring mat. Now what's Susan Storm thinking?
Up to the top rope. Oh! Spectral strike connects. And what the?
What's Shuri doing out here?
Shuri?
Is she here to defend her tag team partner?
Could very well be, yeah. So more infighting in the Avengers as Shuri now comes out here. It's all legal. Oh! Backbreaker to Susan Storm.
Almost looked like it was some kind of a destroyer, but instead the backbreaker, and now another jumping attack. I mean, like you said, this is illegal. The match is still going. There's no DQ.
You, of course, know that we're going to be seeing Shuri at Combat Evolve. She's got a date for the Women's Universal Championship at that PLE. And now the tide is turned in favor of Black Widow, and here comes the lock-in of the submission. Black Widow. This is how she tapped out Susan Storm. Susan Storm's tapping again, but it doesn't matter. There's no submissions in this type of a matchup to win the belt.
Well, you say it doesn't matter, but it matters in the sense that it completely wears out Susan Storm. The problem is she's stuck in the middle of the ring right now. Black Widow has to get her out of the middle of the ring in order to place the ladder to climb it and win the title.
That might be exactly what she's thinking. Here is a massive kick from the top rope.
Again, though, not quite enough space to place that ladder, and she's able to get enough wherewithal to sidestep that attack.
You know, we talk about it all the time in ladder matches. Yes, the ladder is a mode of transportation to climb up and get that belt, but it can also be used as a weapon as well.
And a very lethal one at that.
Another ladder placed in the corner there. I think Black Widow had some nefarious thoughts for Susan Storm, and both women a bit disoriented, it seems, right there. Unsurprising.
Almost wonder if they maybe were thinking about getting into a slugfest of their own. They were just too disoriented, but they both, or at least Black Widow seems to recover for the time being, and that might be all it takes. A little reversal, though, by Storm. Drops Black Widow. This is her chance.
This is smart. Climb that side of the ladder so that you're able to see what Black Widow is doing over there in the corner. Fingertips on the belt, looking to win the title back is Susan Storm. Oh, and almost had it.
Just barely managed to get her grip on it right before that ladder was removed out from underneath her, and now Black Widow going to the top rope. Oh, the coup de grace connects.
Double stomp right into the midsection, and Black Widow is not done. Ushering Susan Storm to her feet. Springboard kick takes Susan Storm down.
Part of it may have ended up on top of the ladder.
Oh, and now Black Widow. Oh, got Susan Storm up. The Widow's bite. The muscle buster connects. And still not done.
He wants to make absolutely certain that there's no chance that Susan Storm is going to get up and intercept this ladder climb.
Oh, is she thinking maybe a second one? Has her in position for the Widow's bite. A second time connects. That could be all she wrote.
It very well could.
Black Widow looking to retain the Cozy Cone Cruiserweight Championship, and not sure exactly, I guess, repositioning the ladder, but that's going to cost her a lot of time.
It is. Now Storm is back on her feet, has her foot grabbed, drops her from the ladder.
I think she grabbed her by that utility belt there. bringing her back down off the ladder. Black Widow with an answer though. Suplex, clothesline combination.
That little second win by Storm may not have mattered. Black Widow has been able to stay on the offensive the entire matchup for the most part, and now Susan Storm going to work her way back to her feet, but that drop kick will send her right back to the floor.
Fortunate there for Susan Storm. That could have been double impact. The drop kick and then maybe the back of the head bouncing off the ladder. Just narrowly avoided disaster there. As Irish whipped into the corner. Black Widow.
Again?
Oh my goodness. Well, we saw Elmo take 6 F5s back in the ladder match with Carson. God, that is the third Widow's bite that Susan Storm has received from Black Widow.
I think it was 7 F5s, but you know, the point still stands. It was enough punishment dished out, and I feel like that's all she wrote here.
This could be it. Black Widow's got both hands on the belt, looking to unclasp the title, and Black Widow will keep the Cruiserweight Championship. It took 3 Widow's bites, some interference from Shuri, but at the end of the night, Black Widow retains the Women's Cozy Cone Cruiserweight Championship. And how much more can we say about this matchup that we haven't said already? The ramifications behind our main event are just too numerous to count.
This is one of the biggest main events we've ever had in the entire history of FWE right now. The Shadow Lord RJ Bishop going to go one-on-one, not only for the Tri-Wizard Championship, but also for their own identities as well.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall and is for the Men's World Championship.
Music that we have come to know a little too well here in FWE as the Shadow Lord makes his way to ringside. And I can't help, Jack, but think we've seen belts here in FWE in the possession of some very nefarious individuals. We could even go back earlier tonight to the Unholy Union, now the Women's Disney Tag Team Champions. Hades winning the Intercontinental Championship, but I don't even want to imagine a future here in FWE where the Shadow Lord could be holding the biggest prize in the men's division.
It is certainly a scary thought. I mean, my mind goes back to how this whole rivalry even got started. It was just RJ attacking the Shadow Lord, coming to the rescue of Cole Eastwood, of all people, I'm pretty sure it was. So it just goes to show you how aggressive the Shadow Lord has been. That one slight from RJ was all it took, and it has been assault after assault, and it finally comes to a head here tonight.
We saw RJ Bishop and the Shadow Lord go toe-to-toe in an ambulance match. It was an all-out war that RJ won. However, we didn't see RJ for about up to a month past that PLE. The Shadow Lord, he was back on our television screens just the week after.
And the Shadow Lord was the one who lost that match.
Well, folks, get out your cameras, get out your cell phones, take as many pictures as you can, because this may be the last time that we ever see RJ Bishop make his way to an FWE ring with the Barger persona. We saw it back in the day, the breakup of Vicious and Delicious, when RJ seemed to go to a dark place. He's tapping into it again here tonight, and you notice no Nick Gunther in the background. He will go it alone here tonight with the Shadow Lord. We still do not know the whereabouts of Nick Gunther. We know that if he were able, he would have been here tonight. But there are so many question marks surrounding this matchup, and maybe, just maybe at the end of the night, we'll have the answer to, if not all, most of them.
RJ, you know, you could tell this is not something he wanted to do. It was something he felt he needed to do in order to be able to take down the Shadow Lord.
Introducing the challenger. From every man's nightmare, weighing in at 202 pounds, Lord O'Shane. And his opponent, from Tucson, Arizona, weighing in at 228 pounds, the men's world champion, RJ.
It's incredible to think that a matchup could put that Tri-Wizard Championship as almost an afterthought, but that is the case here in this matchup. For the Shadow Lord, his identity is at stake. For RJ Bishop, the Burgerman persona is at stake. And Jack, you've donned a target on your ring gear, you've donned the mask.
Still there.
It's a status symbol in a way, and that's what's on the line for both these individuals here as well.
It sort of is. I mean, you know, I made that change because I kind of realized it was something that I needed to do in order to stand a chance against Thanos. You know, the old me wasn't really working. I had to change my ways, and I feel like that might sort of be what's on the line here.
RJ deposited right out here in front of us. What in the world is the Shadow Lord thinking?
Oh, gosh! Drop kick to the outside of the ring. Wrenching on that leg is the Shadow Lord.
And you notice, referee Ernest Wright is not administering a 10 count. Commissioner Woody wants a clear, decisive winner in this match. So there are no countouts in this matchup here tonight, which means that interaction on the outside of the ring could end up being quite a bit of this matchup's duration.
Oh, nice springboard attack there by the Shadow Lord. Gets RJ down.
We know what lengths both these individuals are willing to go. We saw what the Shadow Lord was willing to do in that ambulance match. We saw what RJ was willing to do as we saw a trifecta of matchups between him and Nick Gunther back when the breakup of Vicious and Delicious was taking place. It looks like those fences have been mended. As now, whoa, Shadow Lord missed his springboard moonsault, but Bishop did not. Cover is in.
For the cover and a kick out at 2. That was almost it right there. You mentioned that the mended fences between the former members of Vicious and Delicious. Are we absolutely certain, though? Because Nick Gunther, although albeit not of his own doing, he's not here tonight. I almost wonder how RJ might feel if he ends up losing this matchup, knowing that Nick Gunther wasn't anywhere to be found.
Well, I mean, RJ's faced the Shadow Lord before. He knows the types of tricks that the Shadow Lord can get up to. We've seen the footage. Nick Gunther abducted by the Shadow Lord, and the Shadow Lord, realizing that Nick Gunther could be the proverbial X factor in all this, did not want him to play a part. So I would have to assume that RJ has seen this same footage and knows the situation, that if Gunther could be here, he could, but the Shadow Lord has inserted himself in between them.
At least we assume he's still abducted by the Shadow Lord. We don't know if maybe he was released or not. I don't think it would be that smart of him to release him after knowing the circumstances. We know the Shadow
Lord's not stupid. We know that.
That's for damn sure. His Irish whip. Shot to the gut there by RJ. And try and control this matchup.
We talked about the scenario where the Shadow Lord could be leaving tonight with the belt. There's also the scenario where we still may not know his identity if RJ Bishop does not win this matchup, as a knee right across that mask. Been a lot of speculation here over the last couple of weeks as to who the Shadow Lord could be if indeed he is unmasked here tonight. And one of the front runners, I find it interesting, and I almost agree. You know, we could kind of go back to that video that we saw, that exchange between the Shadow Lord and Nick Gunther. We ended up hearing the Shadow Lord say a couple of interesting lines, including "friends on the other side" and "you're in my world now, not your world." Those are lines known that are spoken by Dr. Facilier. Now, I'm not saying it's absolutely him, but that certainly seems like a good front runner.
That's something I haven't even considered, and we haven't seen Dr. Facilier in quite some time.
Exactly.
So that's a good theory. RJ wants to work with that baseball bat.
Yeah, no disqualifications, no countouts here in this type of a matchup. Commissioner Woody wants a clear, decisive winner here tonight.
Both identities on the line here. Again, like you said, look out there. Diving attack there by the Shadow Lord. Like you said, it's kind of strange that our biggest championship on the men's side, the Tri-Wizard Championship, is an afterthought in this matchup, but I mean, that it does feel secondary. It's kind of easy to forget that whoever wins this matchup, they're going to be at the top of the food chain in FWE.
Did you say food chain just because there's a burger in the ring?
Possibly.
It's interesting, too. This is kind of the rubber match here tonight. So far, 3 matchups, titles have changed hands. 3 matchups, the titles have been retained. This is the deciding factor as to whether or not the majority will go to the champions or the challengers. Shadow Lord with a miss there on that springboard moonsault. RJ Bishop turns the Shadow Lord inside out with the clothesline, and hold on!
RJ's thinking about it.
RKO by RJ Bishop. Is this gonna be it? Do we see the identity of the Shadow Lord? RJ picks up the victory. The Shadow Lord's gonna be unmasked.
Oh my goodness.
Here is your winner, and still men's world champion, RJ Bishop.
All right, stop the music. Stop the music right now, please. Please stop the music. Thank you. Shadow Lord, you knew the ramifications coming into this match. You saw the fine print. You signed the dotted line. You lost tonight, and therefore it's time to take off your mask and reveal to the entire FWE universe exactly who you are. Oh, and by the way, just in case you decide to do one of your little magic tricks and disappear, please bear this in mind. If you don't unmask right here tonight, I have the legal right to terminate your FWE contract. So take off that mask now.
Who would think it is?
I have no idea. Wait a second.
Oh my gosh! That can't be! Nick Gunther is the Shadow Lord?
This changes everything.
How?
That doesn't even make any sense.
And now he's got a steel chair after the chokeslam to RJ Bishop. And now wearing RJ Bishop's knee out with that steel chair. I still can't believe this is Nick Gunther. We saw him and the Shadow Lord having a conversation.
Was it all a ruse?